Greetings Internet and welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're feeling fantastically well. In this episode I'm going to begin my game of the Moscow campaign, Strike and Counterstrike by SPI Games from 1972. I'm going to try and do one complete turn in each episode, so there'll be the German turn and the Russian turn. Everything is set up. If you haven't seen the setup and how I set up and why I set up, please watch the prior episode. In fact, that hasn't got his episode number because this will be episode 1, turn 1, episode 1. I'm trying to do that sequence. But there is a setup video where I discuss why, what, wherefore, and some of the basic rules. I will be going through the rules probably on the first and second turn in quite a bit of detail as I explain what's going on. And hopefully as I play through, there'll be less rules and more discussion about why I'm doing what I'm doing and so on. But let's get down to the map and let's see what's going on. As you can see, the Germans are massed here in the south. Oh, got an awful shadow there. Probably again shooting at night. Okay, now so they're going that way. I'm going to remove the shadow in a minute. In fact, I'm going to do it now. Hopefully that's better. So let's see. Yes. Okay. Useful multi-directional lights. I'm not sure that means I can actually see what I'm reading now, but hey ho. Okay. But yes, Germans massed here, going this way. That's the plan. Everything's ready to go. We begin at, wow, it says here on the turn, 30th of September to the 2nd of October, and I've got to remember to increase German attacking odds by 1 column for the first 4 turns. How am I going to remember that? I'm going to stick this here. Hopefully that will be enough to remind me. Okay, so we begin with the German movement phase. And now, let's see what kind of, because this is where most of the movement's going to be, so what kind of zoom can we get on this area? Yeah, is that all right? Okay. Now, the problem is obviously I've got to get my hand here and around without knocking this. We'll try our best. Worst case scenario, I mean, I could move the camera to a different angle, but let's just see how we go. Right, well, the main thing is we want to take out this position. Okay. Mr. Pink. But we also want to take out Mr. Green. So we can actually start to break through. Each of these positions has got a strength of 3, and to be able to overrun it, we have to have 11 times that. So that's going to require 33 strength, and again there is 11. Sorry, 3 in here, so we need 33 strength there on each of those. And the way you can do the overrun is you move adjacent to the unit. So we've got these panzers here, and there are 3 6s, 18 there, so they will, now when it moves into a zone of control, you don't have to stop, but it costs 3 extra movement points. So to move from there to there is 1, plus 3 is 4. To go from there to there, I have to pay 3 for the woods, plus 5, they don't have the movement capability. But that's 18 towards that 33. Then we've got these panzers, which is another 10, and they're going to go 1, I think that's swamp or marsh. There's another 3. It is. So that's another 15. So 18 plus 15 is 33. So all of those have managed to achieve those 11 to 1 odds. So they get inverted. And what that means is they can now be moved through by anything else. And then at the end of the German movement segment, they're re-inverted, and then they are attacked by those units that were overrunning them. So I'm going to just show who has moved so far. So that's an overrun. So anything can move through that hex now as if it doesn't exist. The units in there anyway. So we want to do the same with the green stack. Is that the green stack? Hold on. Am I talking? No, it wasn't that one. It was that one. Still the same odds. Or was it? Or was it that one? Oh, I can't remember now. Yeah, it was. It was that one. There we go. Right. This one is a little bit harder. We're needing 3 lots of it. So we've got 4, 8, 12 there, going 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, it's 3 to enter a zone of control. So that's 12. Then we've got another 3, 6, 7, 8. That takes it to 20. And then we've got 4 plus 5 is 9, 10, 11, 12. 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh. Wait a minute. 12 plus 12 is 24. Plus 3, 6, 7, 8. It's 32. Yeah. I thought I was beginning to suffer with my math there. Those go there. And then those go there. And then we've achieved the overrun, which inverts those, and now anything else can move through it. What this allows is these guys here to maybe not attack these, because it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It costs an additional 3 movement points to move into an enemy zone of control. Yeah, this isn't a fast moving game. Guys, don't go excessive distances. But we're going to try and create a pocket here, and maybe if we can, because what happens when these get flipped over is they are attacked, and then the units that attack them can advance 1 space. And it doesn't, sorry, 1 hex. It doesn't say it has to be that hex. Okay, so let's push on then. We've got these are all motorized units, so they can go. Just check the terrain. It's clear. So, and that's a little river. Cross section to cross. No additional. That's interesting. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait a minute, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 3 additional to enter a zone of control. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, they're not going to be able to get there, are they? So 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As far as I can get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. we'll leave. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll leave those two there, so they can do some, can get involved in that overrun combat, and can even absorb some of the losses if necessary. Because we don't really want to take it on the armor. Okay, so didn't get as far as I thought. There's that extra 3 movement points to go into an enemy zone of control. It's very, very expensive. Oops, come on. So there you get into there. You get into there. Now, those through, you want to get through 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they can't get any further, can they? Because of the zones of control. Interesting. See, learning as I'm playing. Thinking, we ought to do mass attacks, but yeah, no. But we haven't finished yet. We can remove 1 hex after the overrun. We can't end up in the hex 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there. Okay, fair enough. God blimey. The hexes are very tight. Come on, just one of you. Hello. There we go. There's 3 in that, isn't there? Yep. Right, well that's the majority of the southern actions. And there's no need to soak off in this. You can throw everything you want at the 1 hex and then move on. Now, the rest of the front. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit. I don't really have the strength to attack. I mean, okay, I could concentrate, but I've got to keep a steady front, so I'm going to keep a steady front. And not attack. The attack's coming in the south. I've got these troops here to start repairing the railway, so they move forward, and they can only move 1 hex, so I'll move them 1 hex. I don't know if you remember previous episode or example, it talks about these railways. I'm sorry about the light, but if I just zoom in here, okay, this is how that rail line there is darker than that rail line there, honestly. And that's the only differentiation they give it. That's the rail line that's been converted, and now I've converted 1 more additional hex behind it, so my supply heads there. But here, that rail hasn't been converted. It's whoa, very, very tricky. But there we go. That's the differentiation. I don't know, maybe once I clear this map board, I might actually use a colour pencil or something. And then the other thing that comes in are 2 German Panzers divisions, 268. This is the only reinforcements that they get. And they can come on anywhere on the east edge up to, now you can see where this combat results table is. So anywhere along that line from there. They don't have to, if I bring them here, they don't have to come right the back here. They actually come in here ish, sort of thing. And which is probably where I'm going to bring them, because I want them to reinforce the actions that are going on here. So I'm going to bring them in there, and then they just got the rate. The Germans can't use rail, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They won't be able to get 7, 8. Won't be. Yeah, it's 2, 4, 6. This would be astronomically expensive. So that's it. That's the German movement. I'm not pushing anywhere along the rest of the front because I don't really want to do low odds attacks. So I declare that's the end of the German movement phase, which means I now resolve those 2 overruns. So if we reflip these back, we know they've got a defence of 3, and the attack will be at 11-1. Now, also, as the attacker, you can declare that you're going to ignore defender retreat results. And you've got to do that before you do the die roll. So that was there. There's no terrain modifier. So no, we won't worry about the defender results. 11-1 is probably the best. Oh, I say probably. It is the best combat results table. Now, where am I going to roll the dice? I do like you guys seeing the dice. So I'm not diddling the system to make it a little more exciting. It's as exciting as it gets. So let's put the dice there. Red dice for the Soviets, blue dice for the Germans. So it's 11-1. We're doing the pink combat first. 11-1 with no modifiers. And that's interesting. Is that different? Exchange, exchange, exchange. Yeah, I was looking at the Soviet one on the actual rules booklet, and I was thinking, yeah, it's different. Yes, it is different. You got DEAD. What results in AD? Defender eliminated, attacker disrupted. The defending units are eliminated, and the attacker must disrupt units at least equal to the defender in combat strength points. The attacker chooses which units are disrupted. Disrupted units are unable to move or attack for 1 full game turn. They are denoted by being placed face down on the map. Disrupted units may not advance into the vacated defending hex. Okay, alright, well, we're still doing the 11-1. We roll the dice. It's a 6. Defender eliminated. So we'll put them there for the moment. Okay, now what does that mean? Because remember, this is still part of the movement phase. This is the overrun. This is the combat overrun. Okay, so just going through the procedure. Move units whose total combat strength is at least 11 times that of the defending unit's combat strength, which we did. Adjacent to the defending units. Invert the defending units and ignore until the end of the movement phase. Treat the hex as if it was vacant, which I did. The overrunning units may move no further in the movement phase, which they didn't, but may attack during the ensuing combat phase other adjacent enemy units. At the end of the movement phase, roll the die and consult the 11-1 column on the proper combat results table. Apply the results as in normal combat, which we've just done. So then it says units may advance 1 hex after completing an overrun attack. It doesn't say that it has to be the defender's hex. That's it. So I'm understanding that as they can move wherever I want them to. So let's go back to the pink. We want to get maximum odds onto this, so I might as well bring that to there, and those 2 supporting infantry to there, and these tanks into there, because they were also part of the overrun. So they can participate in the combat phase, and that's that overrun done. And now this one, also to 11-1. There's the die roll area, and it's a 3. 3 is DEAD, so attacker disrupted. So there's 3 Russians taken out there. So I've got to have 3 Germans disrupted. I think we will disrupt one of these motorized infantry divisions. That means he won't be able to do anything next turn. Now, none of these are actual combat, so I can't increase. The maximum odds are 11 to 1. Come on. Yeah. That's the unit we want disrupted. And those can go and sit there. Okay. That's the end of the overruns. Now we go into normal combat. Okay. Now there's 2 defending there, and we've got 4, 8, 12. 12 to 2 would be 6 to 1. Might as well, because it becomes 7 to 1 because of this. So it's 7 to 1 across the river. The river subtracts 2 from the die roll. So it's 7 to 1 with a -2. Roll of 3 becomes a 1. And that says BR, which I believe is both retreat. BR. Both retreat. Defending units are first moved 1 hex by the attacker. Then the attacker is retreated 1 hex by the defending player. Units are eliminated if unable to retreat. Okay, so we force them away from the river. Well, from that hex anyway. To there, and they go there. Okay, so the next combat we have to do. I'm not going to attack here because that's going to be 6 to 3, which is, well, 2 to 1, even with the 3 no. We will attack with, now there's 3 defending here. This unit's going to be out of supply, so we might as well do this attack with those 3 stacks there. 3, 6, no wait, 6 to 18 to 3, 6 to 1, which becomes 7 to 1 because of the blue cube. 7 to 1 with a 2. Okay, tripod's covering that up. 7 to 1 with a 2 is an exchange. That's not good, because that is, make sure I haven't missed something there like I did on the other attacks, but no. Yeah, maximum odds. Okay, with an exchange. So we'll take 1, those 2. Okay, and then they advance in. Right. So attacking these guys. Now these are out of supply. Attacking these guys. These are out of supply. And if you didn't see that combat because my big mitts are in the way, I do apologise. There are 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 to 2. There's 3 units there. Halved is 1.5. Didn't say anything about fractions, so I'm going to say it's 2. But it's still 19 to 2 is 9 to 1. No, wait. 92, yeah, 9 to 1. Not quite 10 to 1. But they have that anyway to add that 1 column shift necessary. So 10 to 1 with a 3 is a DEAD. So let's bring that back. So they're eliminated. And we have attacker disrupted, so that was 3. And you've got to use the full combat value. So there's going to be 2 of these units disrupted. And I think we're going to move the armor in. Yeah. Which then brings us to down here. We're just going to attack this because not enough strength to attack that. There's only 6 to 2. I'm not here to attrit. I need to kill for the Germans, so they're going to attack everything onto that. So it's going to be 11 to 1. Is there any modifier? There is -2 for the I think we'll call them woods or forests in this. Forest. Subtract 2. Doesn't say anything about odds, so it is a 11 to 1 with a -2. Whoops. We rolled a 4. Takes us to 2, which is DEAD. So we remove those two. I knock the dice tower over. One German infantry division becomes disrupted, and then we can advance in there. Sorry, the units disrupted can't advance. Those two can advance. In actual fact, we'll have 3 advance to make the shore up of the line there. And that concludes the combat phase. Now it's the mechanized phase. So let's just move out a little bit. Okay, because all the mechanized are down here. What I'm not sure about is, can they overrun again? It says during any movement phase of a player turn, a player may overrun. This is definitely not the movement phase. It says, well, during any movement phase of a player turn. Because this is a mechanized movement phase. So yes, they can overrun. Remember, they're needing 11 to 1 odds. So they could overrun these chaps. I'm not sure if this adds to the... It just says increase German attacking odds by 1. It doesn't say anything about the overrun odds, so I'm going to say no. We've punched a hole as the Germans here. Now, is it worth pushing onwards or wrapping round? The infantry can't move. We can easily get... We can't do combat at the end of this. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we need to get rid of those guys. So it's 5, 10... 15. Remember, we need 33. 15. Plus 12 is lots. 27. 27. 28, 29, 30. 33. So they now are overrun. So it means we can ignore that hex for movement purposes. So let's put them back in there. Okay. I don't have that much going through, but we do have some. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 5, 6, 7. I don't want the Russians being able to come back along this area of the front. We've got these new panzers as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now look at this hex here. It's got a little bit of a nipple of trees here. I'm going to not class that as a forest. 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Any more motorised that can cause any more problems? Yeah, there's one there. So let's add that to that. I think that concludes. I don't think there's any more motorized units. So that concludes motorized. So we have one overrun, which is this. We know it's got 11 to 1. Now, interestingly, this infantry hasn't moved. Can they be added to the attack of the overrun? It does say other units may join in the overrun even after the necessary 11 to 1 odds have been obtained. Thus, after armour has obtained the needed odds, infantry can be brought up, ignoring the zone of control of defending units. Now that's during the normal movement. Will they be able to count in that situation? Well, let's have a look how much. We know it's 11 to 1. I'm just trying. There is on a 1 an exchange result. I don't really want to lose an armoured unit in an exchange result. Vagaries of the rules. These didn't move, but they are adjacent to the hex being overrun. I can't see a reason logically why they wouldn't be able to do anything. They haven't needed to move. They wouldn't have the pace to keep in the combat, but they'll be able to still fire their guns. So I am having them involved. So if that's wrong, let me know in the comments section. Anyway, it's 11 to 1. Cock dice roll again. 11 to 1 with a 3 is DEAD. Back to here. So AD, actual fact, at the moment of combat, they're only worth 2, still maximum odds anyway. Alright, so we'll flip over those 2. We'll flip over 4. And we can then advance into that hex, but there is no additional cost. Oh no, it says we can advance. Doesn't have to be in that hex, it's an overrun. So we're going to advance them there. We'll advance them there. And that's it. Now, do the Germans have a continuous front? At this point, they do, because nothing's changed along this sector of the front. And here, they have a controlled hex there and a controlled hex there and all the way down. So their front is maintained, which is one of the rules. And that concludes the German phase. I will now be flipping this map over and then putting my Soviet hat on. It's a long way. We're arms, but we can do our best. I mean, the main thing is we've just seen that the Germans can go pretty much where they want with that punch through there. The Russians, or Soviets, gain one measly little division. They've lost loads. I'll work out the losses at the end of the turn. So they get one reinforcement that can come in by train. Yay! Remember, they can move a total of 9 units by train. They've got 9 train counters. 1, 2. It costs a unit half of its movement allowance to end train and a quarter to detrain. I'm not sure if that applies to reinforcements as well, but yeah, let me just double check. They enter the map in an entrained condition. Okay, well, where do they need? This fortified line is almost breached already before we even begin, because the Germans are going to come around and do nasty things. So the Soviets need to build something here. They've got this river line still, so I think it can defend the river line, and then we've got to start thinking about pulling back to this line here. Well, again, the Germans could come all the way around, couldn't they? It depends how far they can go. The most that the Soviets can get into a hex is 3 counters, 3 stacking, 3 combat points. So there's no way they're going to be able to strike back. Not against the Germans as they are at the moment, which is obviously at their most concentrated. So I think pulling back is probably the best option. Okay, as I've been looking at this, I've just realised I made it's not a rules mistake, it's a gameplay mistake that I probably wouldn't do on the second playthrough of this. What I should have done with the Germans is move forward here to engage the Soviet line. Not to attack, but now to have actually pinned, because it takes 2 movement points to move out. So if I'd moved into there, each one of these, that would be actually 3, 4. Now they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. But you learn by doing. Okay. So our first little goal as the Ruskies is we're going to have to create some form of line here-ish. Because we want to hold the Germans here as well for as long as possible. So let's do that then. Let's see how far we can actually move some of these units. Now, in the forest, the armour is 3 per hex. So that would be 3, plus 2 for disengagement under controls 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's as far as he can go, is there. Okay. This little chap, it's 3 and 4. Yeah, there's no extra movement cost for moving over the river. We know those 2 are going to be there. Okay. These 1, 2, 3. We can't move adjacent to the German. So 3. Let's go there for 4. Where it costs 2 extra movement points to move into a zone of control. 3 extra movement points to move into a zone of control. Stand correct myself. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3 to there, and then the armoured unit can go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to there. So yeah, we're trying to fulfill the continuous line regulation plus start to make a defensive line along there. Okay, so let's leave that there for the moment. These guys can go and stiffen up. And I think that probably the best way to prevent too many overruns is you can only overrun if you can get maximum units around the hex. So we're going to move these back from the fortification. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we've got, remember that's the maximum we can get in a hex. Okay. 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. Okay, so we can move units by rail. Remember, it takes up half their movement points to do so. We've got, and we'd have to move them to a rail hex. So we have 2 units here we can move by rail. So to entrain those 2 would be half their movement total. And then for every 30 movement point, they got, once they're on the train, that's what they've got, times 30 equals 1 movement point. So we could move these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 to there. And then detrain them. So 2 movement points to end train. Then, because we moved within the 30, that's another movement point, and then they can detrain there. And that's those two. I've got a total of 9 of these counters. So entrained those 2. So I've used 2 at the moment. Okay. So let's see if we can get someone else in there. Over here, yeah. And he'll do the same. And there we go. Boom. And that's my 3rd train marker. I do have the one dude from off map, the reinforcement. And I'm going to bring him in here and then move those forward into there. Okay. Which is as strong as I can probably make it. So to get an overrun, to get 33 is going to be difficult. As difficult as I can make it. Now, we need to reinforce this line, so there's 3 per hex as well. So yeah, we're stripping from the northern front. This unit here, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. That's about as far as he's going to go. 26, that gets him to there. That's another train. So that's 4 trains gone now. 1, 2, 3, yeah. 5 left to go. Ideally, I'd like to get another unit there. So strip from this area of the front here, and he'll be able to get 2 there as well. Yeah, I know I'm overstacked. I'll be correcting that soon. 4 units that can still move by train. Okay, so he's not on a train line. He is. Yeah. So he'll be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 to there. So it doesn't break the 30. As long as it's less than 30, I can end train for 2 movement points, move 30 hexes for 3 movement points, and detrain for 4. Can't detrain in an enemy zone of control. So that's the limit on that. That leaves me 3 units that can still move by rail. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 into there. Just try to make these have 3 in each hex, meaning that the Germans need to amass 33 rather than 22. 22 is easy, 33 not so much. Two units that can still move by two that can still move by rail. We want the one that when they sit stout on the rail. There we go. There's another one there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. You can go right to the edge. Well, we don't want to go right to the edge, but we can put him in there. Okay. Leaving one. Let's leave that one for the moment, and just in case there is something else I want to do. Now we've got these EB units. They can move. They don't count towards the train limit, so we can move these around. No, they've only got a 1 on them, so they can only move 1 hex. Let me double check that. Okay, so I've just finally grokked what they can do. I could, at the beginning of it, I've passed it now, but at the beginning of the move, I could remove this completely and place it on another rail line. Or they can move as if they were rail units. Hold on, I better just double check that. It's the wording on some of these rules are very careful. So EB units may be destroyed but are replaced at the beginning of any friendly unit. Yet so EB units may be removed from the map, even if surrounded or cut off at the beginning of any Soviet movement, and replaced on any other normal rail hex. And Soviet EB units may be moved by rail in the same fashion as other Soviet units. Well, I've only got 1 movement point on them, so I'm assuming that means they can move effectively 30. Okay, well, let's do that. I've got some EB units right at the top here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So that's where we want to go to. How much units have we got in there now? 2. That'll make 3, which is what we're after. Those 2 still to move. So with that in mind, they'll get to there. These are quite powerful little dudes, aren't they? If they're infinitely replaceable, and they've only got 1 combat strength, yeah, it's true, but... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So we get right the way. So from this position onwards, any EB units can get right over to that front. So what are we actually going to defend here is the question. Do we want to defend that hex there? Yes, we do. So we might as well put the EB in there with 2 divisions, giving it that defense of 3. Still haven't moved these 2. We're going to place another EB unit in that hex there, because again by rail, and leave a division in there. So we've got an armoured unit that hasn't moved yet over there. Now, if the Germans approach, they've got to stop, to go from there to there. A lot of movement points, because it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they won't be able to get in there. So we don't need to put anything here. We do need to put something here, though. So that armoured unit will come around. Come on, come on. There we go. Boom. Again, 3, we've now got, I'm quite happy with what's there. I want something here. Right, so we've got one of these cavalry units. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to leave the EBs on top. They haven't moved yet. Can we get any? We've got one more unit that can move by train. So we're going to take him from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Look, we're going to actually put him there. Yeah, then he can get all three there, can't he? So we've got the line. Oh, it's so tricky. Oh, he hasn't moved yet. Okay, so where are we going to put this line? If we put it here, move the EB to there, that's fine. And then we've got those three there. So the Germans can get to here and here, but they're only going to get 2 eggs on there and maybe 2 there. So this division will move into this hex, create the 3. That's the last train done. Okay, we're starting to firm up a defence over in that sector. Around a realm. Oops. Clumsy. Honestly, it's the counters, they're very sticky. Right. So the Germans could get 3 on there, but then they've still got zones of control. So I'm going to put this here to prevent too much breakthrough, if possible. Okay, so that is effectively that shored in my mind. Is it brilliant? No. Will it withstand? It might slow them down a little bit. Okay, so we're now going to disengage that front line there as best as possible. So I'm going to move the camera up a little bit so it gives my arms a little bit of stretch. So that's still there. So do we want it there? Yes, I suppose I'll do, because then we can put 2 normal units in there. These were as far as they could go. Now, do we reinforce that? Because they're going to slow down this infantry. So, forlorn hope, there we go. That just hopefully prevents an overrun. Then, we've got these 2 here. So I'm going to leave the EB. So these go 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting to form up a second line when these will now fall back into there. And as I say, that was a big mistake from the German point of view, because it's allowed the front rank to pull back. And any one of you that mentioned that in the first one I set it up, I thought I'm filming them all at the same time effectively, so we're way beyond when this actually gets released. 1, 2. In there. And you can go in there. 1, 2, 3. And then we carry on all the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. Right. This EB here, I'm going to put there. And the cavalry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they can't get all the way back to the. One, 2, 3, 4. The more units I can get to this area, the better. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. We know the Germans don't have the strength to really punch as hard there. 1, 2, 3. So we don't really have to surrender that much ground. One, 2, 3, 4. Getting these on rail lines so they can move further next turn. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's fine here. Let's put them ready to move by rail. I think that is the Soviet movement phase. We're not going to do any attacks. Not prepared for that kind of attrition. So let's bring this, so there's no combat phase. They don't have a mechanized phase. So let's bring this back up to the top. Okay. Current losses. Infantry. Russian infantry is 14 combat steps, combat strength points. Germans 4 combat strength points. Russian armour, which are worth ×2, is 3, so that's 6 out of the 14. So they've lost 20 victory, or the Germans have gained 20 victory points, and the Russians have gained 4. Which, after the first turn, so it's a 5-1 difference. That is a German substantial victory. Yeah, more than 4-1. German substantial victory. That was the first turn, where they probably killed more than they would normally be able to, because the Russians have now fallen back and not standing right next to them. So it'll be interesting to see what the loss rate will be on turn 2, turn 3, and so on. And that will be in next videos. So I hope you enjoyed what I've done. I know I went through every single hex of movement there. If that was a bit tedious, let me know. And then when I shoot the video again, I can go, thank you very much for being a bit bored. Sorry, no, I can actually say, right, okay, let's just move everything, and I'll just resolve the combats if that's what you guys would prefer. But let me know in the comments. But until next time, play games, have fun, and got me ding-a-ling, buy internet,